his mom used to make those ube cakes, and I'm just like, man, this tastes just like it. This is so crazy. It's first time, and I didn't know what to expect tasting it. I'm like, I'm going to go into this blind. I already know that you guys make great beer, so I wasn't worried about it being bad, but I'm like, what's going to happen here? Is it going to be IPA? Is it going to be like super ube? Like, what's going to go? I mean, perfect. I don't know how you guys came up with that, but good job on that.
I mean, that's kind of right story. In the timeline of when that happened.
Yeah.
So Ryan just talked about it, right? The first week or the first brew, it was like, what are we going to do, right?
Yeah.
My wife and her family is Chamorro, so they're from Guam.
Yeah.
So we were here and open for a week, and then we had a trip to Guam planned. So we brewed for a week, and then Ryan was on his own for a little bit, because it was just the two of us at that time. So we were out in Guam, and it's another Pacific island, and there's a lot of influence of other islander culture out there. So there's a lot of ube things out there. And I was at a bakery and was eating this ube donut, and I took a picture of it and I sent it to Ryan, and I was like, I really don't know how we're going to do this, but we need to figure out a way to make a beer out of this. And so it's kind of cool because now it's become one of the most popular things that we do, and we have a whole festival dedicated to it. And
just had it.
That's right. Yeah, a couple weeks ago, which was in and of itself a lot to do, but but I mean, where we've come from with that is like we've always tried to do things and make beer for a specific reason.
Right.
The very first smoothie sour we ever did, we did it with Mortalis because they're who does them, right? And they were like who we looked up to for that. So we've always been like, we're never going to make something just to make it. We're going to make it for a reason. And so we explore new styles because we're going to do it with somebody that's a friend, or we explore new ingredients because we have family influence or whatever it may be. So that's kind of how we've always tried to, I don't know, guide our decision-making process, honestly, as organically as possible, right? We don't do things to be hype or to be cool. We just, do them, and if people like them, cool. And if they don't like them, that's cool, too.
Yeah, like the first batch, we were getting ready to, I remember even just brewing it. Our owners were like, are people going to buy this? And I go, I don't know.
Maybe.
And they go, are people going to know what it is? And I go, I don't know. And then we had never been, the type to sell out a beer release,
right.
And so we had no limit. We were just open, and we're like, hey, we're releasing this Ube IPA, Milkshake IPA, and then next thing you know, there's a line out the door, and people are buying flats, cases on cases.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, we only have 50 cases. We should probably start limiting this. And then we're like, I don't know, 4-pack limit. And then we're like, oh, it's getting even crazier. We're like, two 4-pack limit. We're like, all right, 1 4-pack per person. And then, and at that time, just the sourcing of the ingredients that go into that beer limited us to a 10-barrel batch, so one of the smaller tanks on our pilot system, and we couldn't get more. We bought out Amazon of all the ube. It's dehydrated ube powder. We bought them out of all.
The FBI is looking at you guys. What are these guys doing with all this ube?
Yeah.
I mean, you're from Mira Mesa. We went to Seafood City and got as many frozen packets of ube puree, and I mean anything that we could find to use in it, and it was we couldn't find it for months after that.
Yeah.
So even if we had wanted to redo it, we couldn't.
Make more. You guys are just trying to build it hype. I'm like, no, I literally just can't find the ingredients.
Gonna have to start growing it here.
Yeah.
Did you guys
where I could find ube?
Did you find ube in all of its various forms hard to brew with, or?
Yeah. So I think this is the 4th or 5th time we've brewed this beer now.
Yeah, 5th, I think.
But it's changed a little bit every time, just based off of the first time we brewed it, it was a true IPA. I mean, it was dry hop very heavily with Sabro. So we've obviously dialed that back quite a bit. And it's just the way we treat the beer and the way we adjunct the beer is definitely changed every time, but to make the beer better, in our opinion. Because the first time we were just, I don't know.
So for the listeners, how would you describe the flavor profile? What they're going to experience with the ube, and I'll see if it matches up with what I already know it tastes like a ube cake, but what were you going for?
So, I mean, typically in ube desserts, you'll find it paired with coconut a lot. So we did a heavy treatment of coconut. So basically it's dry. It's actually got coconut milk sugar. So it's actually like lactose, but it's derived from coconut. Yeah. That's in the whirlpool. And then some Sabro in the whirlpool, and then also some regular just lactose. So there is milk sugar in there. And then knock that out, let it ferment, dry hop a little bit more Sabro.
So Sabro, if for those who don't know, it's a newer varietal, but when you dry hop with it, it literally tastes like coconut.
Yeah,
that's
right. It's the big coconut guy.
Yeah. We're not huge fans of it, but it's funny because we buy a box a year, just for this beer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It can something about Sabro that I've noticed, and I know you guys, is it'll help balance out if you're using any other more bitter hops.
Yeah.
Just because that coconut flavor is really what balances out.
It
gives
has
like
a
a
perceived sweetness for
Yeah,
sure.
that's literally what I was gonna say. Yeah, perceived sweetness basically from the coconut aromatics on it. So
Yeah, and then we recircuit on all the ube powder, the puree, the
That's where we get the
concentrate.
color.
That's where we get the color. And then we also do a bunch of coconut. So we recircuit on coconut too. So
Nice.
I would say it tastes like a like a sweet potato pie coconut cookie. Kinda.
Okay, I like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I like that.
I
I
agree
was
with that.
I was gonna say the quality that you're gonna get for me flavor wise is maybe like a velvet cake,
Oh, yeah,
velvet
I could see
cupcake,
that.
but
Yeah,
with
yeah.
coconut like cream frosting
Yeah.
on top.
I can see that.
And then, and obviously the color is amazing. For those of you that like are Instagram beer nerds that like to take their pictures, we took some already. It's bright purple, like Barney the dinosaur. It's bright purple.